love definitely does exist and it surpasses all boundaries. I'm talking to Kangela and Teresa Kangela, who actually are together right now, and they have a beautiful daughter who, of course, is the fruit of their love. But what is unique about their story? Teresa, before getting married to Kangela, came out in the public and told him that she is HIV positive. But what did this do to their love? Did it make it stronger? Or what challenges did they go through? Now, if you're a woman out there, can you come out in the open and tell your real love about the situation? This is Woman 360. Join me on the other side. Thank you for joining 360 Degrees of Women Issues. Today I'm talking to a couple who have gone through something that not everyone really goes through nowadays, but then they really did stick together. And of course, the most difficult part was for Teresa, who had to come out in the open. And maybe, you know, as a woman, you'd think, will this man accept this? I know he knows everything about me, but he doesn't know this one thing, which is the most delicate thing in my life. How will he take it? So let's meet Teresa and Kangela.
Hello, David.
Please take a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
Hi, Moira. Thank you so much for coming through to Woman 360.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Okay, so we'll just start. How did you guys meet firstly? Take us back to when you first met and you were falling in love and there was all that courtship.
Well, we met at the bakery back then, I think some 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I was working for a bakery in Jesmondin, somewhere in Jesmondin.
Okay.
Yes, that was where we met. He used to come and buy a lot of bread that time.
So we're now beginning to think, was it the bread he was really buying or it was
Both.
both? Okay, when you got to the point where he proposed and you guys decided to get married, or maybe before I get there, at which point did you tell him about your living positively?
When he proposed to me, I didn't say yes there and there. I actually waited. We started dating. We dated for a long time. Then I decided I should tell him because he showed so much interest in making me his wife. Then that was when I decided to tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about what was going through your mind just before telling him this news that, you know, I'm HIV positive, I'm living positively. How easy was it or how difficult was it? What was going through your mind exactly?
Wow, Judy, to tell you the truth, it's never easy to tell someone you're positive. But then, first of all, you have to accept yourself. That's when you can tell the other person about who you really are. So I thought to myself, can I really trust this guy? Is he going to stick by me when I tell him? Yeah, and something convinced me to go on and tell him because he was very much in love with me. And I told him, I just pumped in the nave and decided to say, wow, I'm going to tell him. If he leaves me, well and good, I've tried my best.
Okay.
But then if he sticks by me, that will really tell me that he really loves me.
Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. And before telling Kangela, had you told anybody else in your family or maybe come publicly? Oh, obviously, if it was public, you would have known about it. Had you discussed this with anybody else, family or friends?
No, just one friend. I
Okay.
only told a friend. I was so scared to tell my family because of the reaction that I thought they would have. Yeah.
Okay. And had you met any of his family members before then? Weren't you picturing any reactions from them?
I had met one brother by that time, so I was actually thinking, okay, if I tell him, what is he going to say about me? Is he going to picture me as the naughty girl, or is he going to accept me for who I am and for my honesty as well?
Okay. And Kangela, when she first came out with the news, firstly, how did you do it? How did you break the news? Did you take him somewhere? What did you give him a massage he loves so that you prepare that atmosphere, you know, soothe him? How did you just do it? Maybe before we get to his reaction.
It was actually his. He made a date with me. We went out for lunch. That was the day that I decided to tell him. It just came abruptly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was nothing connected to a topic you were talking about? No.
No. We just went out for lunch as a couple.
Okay. And Kanjala, your reaction when she gave you this news? You are so head over heels with this beautiful woman, then she comes out with this news. What did you feel? What was going through your mind?
Unfortunately, for me, it was not a shocker. It wasn't. I've lived with people that are HIV positive for some time, friends and family. And at one time I was thinking, in my own humble way, the only way, that's my opinion, to fight HIV AIDS unless we face it head on. Because I believe until we know, as a nation and as in the community society, the people that are suffering from malaria, that are suffering from diabetes, then we'll find means and ways of how to help them. But if we hide, it may not help really. So when she told me about that, it was like, okay, so HIV positive, then what? First thing is, before I met Teresa, I had 3 things for my wife. The first thing is beautiful.
Yes.
The second thing is honesty. The third one is obedience. And I can assure you Teresa's both, all of them actually. Because unless people are honest as my wife is, we will not fight this HIV AIDS. But she was very honest to tell a stranger about her status. When people are fearing to tell their own relatives, somebody's taking medication in their own house, they can't tell their mother, they can't tell their father and their brothers and sisters. Now she told this stranger who could have blown it in a negative way. So she's trusted me. So I could not throw away her trust and honesty.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. And then when it reached that junction, when you were making things formal now, you were getting married to her, you had to go to your family. Were you contemplating telling them her status, or what did you want to do? Did you just tell them immediately, or you said maybe it's between the two of us, I'll just hold it back?
Judy marriage is about 2 people, full stop. Before my mother died, I told her, Mom, I'll marry anyone, Indian, Chinese, African, Lozis, any tribe, as long as I love that person and that person loves me. Simple. And when that time came, I did not tell my family. It has nothing to do with them, really. Of course, it brought an issue later on where they thought, why did you tell us first?
Yes.
Like, what I thought the first person to talk to was the doctor, so that I know medically how can I stay with an HIV positive wife, not a friend or just a relative, but an HIV positive wife. That was the first person to consult. Then, of course, I'm a Christian. I had to consult my counselor. Is that what does the Bible say? But unfortunately, nowadays, Christians are in the forefront discarding the people that are HIV positive. It's like the story of the Bible of the people that had leprosy, where you put them in the bush and no, don't touch me and don't touch them and stuff like that. So I was like, I would not go back to that, because I think that story was put in the Bible so that the Bible teaches us not to react like that to people that are suffering. I can assure you, Judy, any sick person, regardless of the sickness, the last thing they want is love.
Definitely.
So if you don't love that person, I don't know who I'm going to love. If I love you, fine, that's okay. But if I love my wife or anyone who's HIV positive, those who are in the hospitals and stuff like that, I think that is real love. And they need care also. You know, at one time I was thinking, the song by Nathan Yorenda, years back, challenged me. Can I just do one more thing before I die?
Yes.
You see, can I sing one more song? Can I just love someone?
Yes.
So I wish all of us could be thinking like that, but of course that's just life for me.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So it must have been difficult on your part. You got married, it was smooth running. The message was just between the two of you. The information that you were living positively was just with the two of you. That was okay. But when his family found out, or other people found out who actually were interested in your marriage, and they came out saying all sorts of things, how did you handle that as a woman?
As a woman, you always have a heart, an understanding heart. So I knew that if I tell these people, they know about me, the reaction, I gave in that leeway to actually give them, how do I put it?
A negative reaction.
And a negative reaction and positive, it's like 50-50.
Yes.
You take in the other part, and the other part you ignore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And for you, Kanjala, how did you handle that challenge where, you know, people are now coming into your marriage and saying, how can you marry a woman who's HIV positive and things like that? How did you handle that situation?
Some people thought it was a lie, I was cheating. Others were like, nah, he's sick also, but he's just hiding.
You can't say it's okay.
Yeah, it's not possible. You just go and marry an HIV positive person just like that. He must be sick, but he's hiding. So that after some time, then you come and say, no, it's because of my wife. No, that
did that cross your mind, honestly?
No.
Did you think, okay?
No, it didn't.
So maybe he said just because of him.
The reactions were there. Family, friends, there were the others, they didn't believe, they thought it was just a joke, you know. But we had sharp reactions, very sharp reactions, where people would tell you. My father actually wrote me a letter to cancel our marriage. Until I went to him and I explained to him. And I remember we say, so when my wife is sick, it does not mean that I will never be sick myself. You see, HIV is there. And unfortunately, we fear people that are HIV positive. We need, HIV is in the blood.
Yes.
It's not a human. It's not a human person. It's not a human being.
Definitely.
It's in the blood. So it has nothing to do with this person. You know, I've seen people that are HIV positive and are extremely productive, and the so-called that are negative, that are straight, they are extremely useless.
Yes.
So it has the productivity between now and the time she dies. It has nothing to do with her sickness. It has nothing to do with that. So I was like, Dad, fine. You're my father. I've agreed. This is the letter written to me. I will not marry.
He actually put it in writing.
Yes. Then I said, but this is the situation. This woman, she's so faithful and honest. If she had wanted, she could have led me into bed, and without reacting, without realizing, I could have been HIV positive today. But she told me, meaning she has that honest and love for me. Then my father was like, yeah. So that, okay, fine. So you want to give her a chilam. What about me? What kind of gift will I give her for that? If I buy a car, then you should be like driving. I'm driving this car because I'm HIV positive.
Yes.
You see, I buy a house. Oh, I'm in this house because I'm HIV positive. I think there is more than to any product, any gift you can give to a woman. Then he said, okay, fine, my son, please bring that letter. And he tore the letter and he blessed us. Go and marry.
Ah, that was beautiful.
It was so nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. And he prayed over it. Oh, please, I didn't understand, because the information he was given, unfortunately, it was wrong information.
Because, of course, he didn't get it from the...
He didn't get it from me. So I traveled and I told him everything. This is the situation. He said, no, please, go and marry. I bring that letter, and he told that letter, and we prayed over it, and here we are married.
And how did he get to find out? It was just yap of people. How did he get to find out?
One of our relatives went to tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Teresa, when you were getting married, and obviously when every woman's getting married, and the couple, of course, will discuss children, did you have any fears? Because I can tell the beautiful girl, she's been sleeping right now. Did you have any fears of having children?
I did, because at that time I hadn't talked to the doctor. We did not discuss about it. So I used to have fears of, how am I going to have a child? Is my child going to be positive or negative? But unfortunately, I had a man like him who used to encourage me a lot. So we actually talked about it when we were in marriage already, when we got married, that is. And
it worked out well.
Went, yes, it did.
And Kanjala, did it ever cross your mind that since now I'm getting married to a woman who's living positively, I think children are out of the question, or I don't know what we're going to do, before you went to the doctors, of course?
Believe you me, I'm a Christian 20%. I don't want to say I'm a Christian 100%, but 20%. I try to follow the Bible. The Bible says children are a gift from God, full stop. So when I was thinking about marrying, even before Teresa came into the picture, I was not going to marry for children, no. I was going to marry a person I was going to die with, or for. A partner, a friend, because all these relatives can go, but this is the person I would die with. This is the person who will even bury me if I die first. So children it was not a big issue. One of my friends was saying, no, just wait, because children, it's a big issue. This is the problem we have in Africa, because you go out to marry for children. Now, if I love Teresa and she does not give me children, hell breaks loose, because there's no children in the house. You see, and the in-laws starts coming in, what's going on, what's happening? So for me, it was like, I'll marry because I love this person. What if it's me who is not able to produce children? What will I expect from people? You see, because it's not only on the other side. You also should also think about yourself. What if it's me who's unable to produce? What happens? So you should. I left it. It's a blank arrangement. As far as I'm concerned, it was God's gift, and God's gift, a giver decides how to give, when to give, what to give.
Yes, definitely. And Teresa, there might be a woman out there watching and just in a very difficult situation like you were, a person who is so much in love with her and probably wants to get married to her, and she is HIV positive. What can you tell them? What message can you give them?
Honesty, Judy, is number one. When you love someone, you definitely tell them the truth. So if you are out there, you're dating this person, just talk to them about your situation, about your status, and they will love you more, I can assure you.
Okay. And for Kangela, I'm sure you get all sorts of comments from your friends, or things like that. It's also very difficult on your part. It's not a thing that maybe people might not have a personality that you have, very open-minded to say, you know, this is just a disease like malaria or cancer or things like that. What can you tell the guys out there? Especially those who are not open-minded.
Any disease is just a disease, and HIV AIDS is not an exception. I always say, my mother died of diabetes, and all of us, we know what diabetes is. You keep on taking medication till you die. So HIV is just like that. So what's the difference? The only difference is people think whoever has HIV AIDS, which is not true, you see. And it's unfortunate for women, because women, you are vulnerable. You think this man loves me, and you love that person. The next thing is you're HIV positive. It's not that you are a prostitute, no. You see, so we should understand it from this angle, that it's just a disease, just like any other disease on earth. And where dying is concerned, whether you are sick or not, eventually you will die. Whether you like it or not, you eventually die. I watched, allow me to say this, an article on television, where people are saying, no, us who are HIV positive, we should not be mingling with these guys when we are getting our medication. What are you fearing? When you have that slip for your medication, you go there at the dispensary desk. Who's going to know that what you are carrying is for ARVs? Immediately you go another room, then people know, why is that person going to that room? When everyone for malaria, the diarrhea, they are here. Why are you going to other room? So actually the segregation and the
creates more suspicion. Actually,
we started ourselves. Those who are sick, as my wife said, if you open it, you open your own Pandora box, then there's nothing to be opened by anyone.
Yes.
Who's going to open it? Because you have opened it already. So if you say I'm HIV positive, actually people help you. Please go and take a medication. I was telling my wife, like, if you hide from people, when are you going to take your medication? If there are people around you, you now end up hiding.
Yes.
So instead of taking your medication my wife takes a medication at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. So if there are people around, then you will not take your medication because there's Judy around. So
and then you're making it difficult when
you're making it difficult for yourself.
Yes.
You know, you're making it very difficult for yourself. So you must open it up. But if you are not HIV positive, please accept these people as they are. They are fellow human beings. Full stop. Let's not segregate them. Very true.
Very, very true. And coming out in the open to Kangela was one step. But another step, which I'm sure you are a very open-minded couple, you take things, you know, even coming out in public, on television, on radio, saying it. How did you just come up with that? Because most people, even just doing that is out of the question.
Let me take that one. When we first appeared on television, then others were like, so what are you trying to prove? So but believe you me, we have an extended family right now. We have adopted children that are 6 because after they watched what they saw on television, we have friends that come to us and we talk about this HIV thing openly in our house, and we visit them. We have opened it up. And we have a lot of friends, and we talk about it. Oh, well, guys, so what medication are you taking? So what is your CD4 count right now? It is, we have extended our family boundary, you see. Yeah. But before then, we were just the two of us and the immediate family members. But others, of course, others, they think, you know, it was not necessary. But actually, we have helped. That's why I said that song from nothing. If only I can help one person and die, that's okay.
It's very
At least I've opened one person. I've helped one person. And we have helped many. We have been asked to go and talk to juveniles, teenagers, youths. We go there and we talk to them. We encourage them. We tell them, please don't involve yourself in sex. Full stop. It is true. If you are old enough, please remember a condom. Kwasila. So we are helping in our own way. Others is difficult. So appearing on television for us, it was a plus.
It is true, because, you know, sometimes as human beings, you might be going through something, especially women. For the gentlemen, you are more open with this, but if a woman is living positively, sometimes you only tell her closest friend or maybe her sister or something like that. So actually coming out like this is definitely helping a lot of couples out there. You never know, there might be somebody who's going through the exact situation. Now, talking a little bit about your lives, what do you do?
I'm a beauty consultant by profession. Yes.
And Kangela?
I'm a farmer.
Okay, very nice. Has this coming out done anything to the people surrounding you at work?
They are actually inspired. You know, I have a 50-50, it's like a balanced sheet for me. I have some people who come to me and say, wow, Teresa, you are brave. Can I talk to you? Can I confide in you? And I have some who come and say, okay, so you know, such kind of people. But it's really helped me, because I have a lot of people coming up to me and saying, wow, you've done well and you've really inspired us. Yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. So December nowadays is related, 1st December specifically, is World AIDS Day. What would be your message to the people out there in regards to HIV and AIDS? We can start with you, Teresa, then Kangela can...
Okay. As we are looking forward the World AIDS Day in December next month, we should always keep in mind that when you're positive, always not even try, let's protect the next person. If I'm a mother or a mother-to-be, I should be able to protect the baby, the next person who is the next person for me. And that is, it goes to zero tolerance of new infections.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Kangela?
We need to fight and get closer to the zero tolerance infection. That's very true. But I would also say, I wish the sondage formula was formulated and finished in Zambia. We have sold the product and finished, and people will steal it. I don't know whether we don't have enough swine so that we can do the test. If I think we didn't have enough, we could have offered ourselves, somebody could have tested on us. And because once we sell that, it goes and it will not come back. And somebody in South Africa will come and say, no, it's fake.
Finish
and
it
yet, and yet it's something tangible. Now, if Dr. Sondage dies tomorrow, we are done. I wish we can get that as a government and keep it ourselves, so that we can even celebrate it on 1st December that we have come up with something. It may be the concluding product, but eventually other people can jump on Sondage's formula and we finish on that one. But of course, please stay away from sex, unprotected sex, casual sex. Remember to always use a condom whenever you're having sex.
Definitely. And lastly, I know for you guys, this is knowledge that you have already, and some people do know that, but let's not take it for granted. Other people do not know that when you are positive, you can actually bring out this beautiful human being who can actually live a negative life. So how can, just tutor us a bit. How did you go about it? How did you do it to just have a baby? Because, you know, not have a baby in terms of, let's not go there, but just get a very healthy baby.
Oh, okay.
And talk about mother-to-child PMTC in those lines.
Okay. As for me, when I conceived with my baby, I was already on treatment. Ever since I discovered I was positive, I've been on treatment. So when I conceived, I decided to, or we talked about it with hubby, and decided to have a cesarean so that we protect the baby. It's as much as she has some slim chances of getting the virus, but I wanted to be really sure so that she comes out negative.
Okay. Thank you so much, Teresa and Kangela. It's been a pleasure having you here on Woman 360.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This has been Woman 360 for this week. Join me next week at the same time for another interesting story. Good evening. I'm Judy Ngulube. Hello, and thank you for joining us on a Woman 360. Tonight, I'm taking you to Malawi, Lilongwe, where I visited an area in the outskirts of Lilongwe, but has a group of women who've involved their spouses in a group that are talking about HIV and AIDS in Africa, as well as in their village. So join me on the other side as I give you more details. Not a kindergarten class, but a group of people living positively in a village in the outskirts of Lilongwe city in Malawi. Malingunda village is a unique story of a group of people coming together, speaking openly on matters of sex related to HIV and AIDS. In this village, discussing matters of sex openly was taboo until a Lilongwe-based NGO, Coalition of Women Living with HIV and AIDS, Kolwa, moved in to create awareness. One member of the group, Miriam Haladi, tells her story.
Chifukwa choka pesa pachile bali kazi wina ali nimikanda komanso ali ndili nyeni komanso